And hi, Simone. Merry Christmas.
Hi, Dottie dear. I miss you.
I miss you too.
But how can I miss you when you're right here, though? I don't know.
Well, absolutely. And Merry Christmas to everyone. And
Absolutely. And
happy holidays, whatever holiday it is you celebrate,
right.
because these are the holidays of love
And
and giving.
why do we need them?
And boy, do we need them. Is that what you said?
Uh-huh.
And, and boy, are you right.
And we need some gratitude to come
Yes.
and love and joy and wow. For all of you that are sitting at home alone or whatever, we love you. And there's lots for you to have gratitude for, just even starting with the breath you take.
I know how many people have been calling me, and probably you as well, but who are saying, well, this isn't like Christmas, and I can't do this, and we can't do that. And I say, there are some things we can't do, but what can you do?
Exactly.
And when can we start focusing on what is wonderful rather than, but it's not like how it's always been. No, it isn't. But we're still here.
We're still here, and there's a lot of positive, miraculous things going on too, with all the horror and mystery that's going on. And,
Exactly.
we have an opportunity for the next couple of weeks, an even larger opportunity as COVID moves through, which it will, we all know that, to stay safe and comfortable and warm and not leave ourselves by feeling ripped off because we didn't get the Christmas that we've always had. This is just one Christmas,
That's all.
and you can embellish it any way you want. I remember one year I was all alone for Christmas, and I was like, mwah, mwah, mwah. I think I was like 30 or something. Mwah, no one loved. And I went out and I bought this tiny tree. And I sat in front of that tree and talked to that tree, and we meditated together. Do you know that tree is, well, you've seen it, Dorothy. It's 40 feet, 50 feet high in my back.
That the tree?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was such a beautiful tree. And that was one of the nicest Christmases. It turned out so beautifully. And I thought I was going to be, oh no, and all that. And it just all went away.
It's amazing, isn't it,
Yeah.
what happens when we take responsibility
Oh, yeah.
and when we just say, I can do this.
And it's up to me. It's up to my thoughts how I'm going to be during Christmas.
Exactly.
And it is hard. There are some changes here that are difficult. It's not like we don't have compassion for everything that's going on. This has been a real, incredible, challenging, difficult time, you know? And yet, wonderful things are happening too at the same time. Which do you want to stay with?
Well, that's always the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I'm discovering, where I'm concerned, is putting us back on one screen, is that so many people are finding new ways, not just to celebrate, but to live.
Yes.
And I find the fact that so many people become innovative
Mm-hmm.
in their lives
Mm-hmm.
rather than just worrying, and some people do,
Mm-hmm.
but rather than just worrying about what's going to happen next, they're becoming very innovative
Yeah. I love that.
and creative
Yeah.
in what they're doing. And for me, I find that kind of miraculous. And I just think that when we are getting together, how many people are just getting together on Zoom? We did it all for Thanksgiving, and we'll do it again for Christmas. And it gives us a time to see each other and talk a little bit, and then get back to business,
Yeah.
which is taking care of ourselves and taking care of the people we love.
There's so much beauty to be had around us, and it's still here and it's looming. Should I read the poem?
The poem by Rumi,
Uh huh.
I love it. Please.
I just think it's something for all of us to let's set in our heart, let it just come right down into our heart. So this is by Jalaluddin Rumi, written in the 16th century. You have no idea how hard I've looked for a gift to bring you. Nothing seemed right. What's the point of bringing gold to the gold mine or water to the ocean? Everything I came up with was like taking spices to the Orient. It's no good giving my heart and my soul because you already have these. So I brought you a mirror. Look at yourself and remember me.
Is that beautiful?
He really was in the center of things, Rumi. He had very few boundaries, if any, and he would just travel in.
It's amazing to me, and having read much of his work, it's amazing to me how it's so applicable to today's world.
And if people would read him and get with his philosophies, wow, the heart opens and opens and opens. If I was alone this Christmas, I don't know why I'm on this, but I have a lot of students that are.
Mm-hmm.
I would be reading Rumi. I would be reading Hafiz. I would be reading all the wonderful Christmas tales. I would be surrounding myself with great food.
Mm-hmm.
And some fresh flowers that maybe I even send myself because I'm such a cool girl.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, and they are too. And, things that feel healing and warm and comforting. We all need to be healed and we all need some comforting energy.
Absolutely.
Watch some funny movies. I always watch This Is 40 and Bridesmaids, and I just get all of the craziest films I can that are. I don't want to watch that violence and all that stuff. I don't. I'm done with that.
Do
And
you
so much,
do you ever feel really alone?
not unless I force myself to think that, because
Mm.
I know I'm not. Why don't you talk about that?
I never feel alone.
Because you're not.
I know, and neither is anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But if we think we're alone, then we'll feel sorry for ourselves. And the truth is, we're spirit, and this is a year of recognizing that.
Yeah.
And this is certainly a time of year to own it. And for most of us, we understand that we have guides and angels and spirits around us and ancestors around us. And I just think it's marvelous that the universe, God, whatever words we want to use, has provided a time for us to do soul searching.
Mm-hmm.
And to get to know ourselves in a way that perhaps we've not had the opportunity to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay. Whatever is happening right now, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to remain the same. And Christmas next year will be different than this year. And most of us lost someone in this period of time? Many of us have. And yet we've lost the human part of whoever it is, but we know where they are as well. And as my mother told me after she passed, after several months, she said, it's impossible to be as happy on earth as where I am.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all going to go there someday, wherever the there is. And so if I use the word rejoice, which is kind of a Christmas word, I say it from the point of view of really knowing joy
Mm-hmm.
and understanding that everything's just fine, just the way it is.
And I want to talk about the difference in energies this year. And gift giving. And for the first year, my husband and I decided to give donations to different organizations that we do throughout the year, but large for everybody that's on our list. And so I thought it'd be interesting to talk about. It's the best feeling. And when I tell people what we've given them, they're like, "Oh, that makes me feel so good."
Yes, and thank you for doing that for me.
Absolutely. And there's just something. It's just it brings a sense of evenness and balance in the world.
Mhm.
And so I'm just loving it. I really am. I haven't heard one person say, "What? You get what?" Everybody is like, "Thank you."
Who would dare?
Well, it's a joke, many, I'm sure. But I'm going to mention a couple that I feel strongly about.
Yes, and I shall too.
They do such great work, and then we can go back and forth if you want, however you want to do it. One of my very favorite, and I mix these up because I do a lot of animal rights stuff and things like that. So I didn't want to just do purely that. I did want to talk about the Siva Foundation that Ram Dass was very much involved in, and they're the most wonderful organization, and they're in Berkeley. They're located in Berkeley, but SEVA, by the way. They go all over the world bringing eyesight to people who can't see. So, for instance, a $50 gift gives eyesight to one child on a Native American reservation this year. $50 gives eyesight to one child. Think of what you'd be giving them.
Yeah.
I mean, what a joy.
What a joy.
I mean, what a gift. And so again, it's the SEVA Foundation, SEVA.
If that doesn't fill your heart, I don't know what will.
And there are all kinds of, you can give more, and they do these operations, and they do retinopathies and all of this incredible stuff, these incredibly dedicated people that travel for the foundation. It's just an amazing organization. So if you're feeling like you'd want to give someone the ability to have an even clearer perspective of the world and the beauty and the majesty of the world, go to the SEVA Foundation, SEVAfoundation.com or .org. I'm not sure. I don't have that down here. Could be .org. One from you, Dot?
I'm talking about the Second Harvest organization.
Yeah. Great.
And there are so many people at this time of the year, more than ever before, who do not have food and don't have money, and people who are in line for food who never ever thought they would be. And the Second Harvest organization is, let me read it, is 95% of donations go to clients and client services. And so Second Harvest, if you can look online for Second Harvest and donate money, food, whatever you want to donate. But I think it's one of the best organizations around, and they really need your help.
Yeah.
Really need your help.
Yeah, I was just reading, this is one of the worst years for food banks. Every food bank, it needs our help.
Absolutely.
And it's such a great opportunity. I was sitting with Locke last night saying, maybe we ought to be just making sandwiches and, doing whatever we can that way too, or making cookies or whatever. They can just lift somebody's spirit.
I know.
We can't be a food bank, but we can.
Well, that's true. And you think about all the people who are living on the street who could use food. It might be a wonderful thing to pack a package of food, and even if you just do 5 or 10 of them and drive around and give them to homeless people.
That's right. Yeah, doing that with blankets too. It's really a wonderful thing. That's a good one, Dot. So how do they find that?
SHFB.
Okay.
.org.
Okay, good. My next one is the National Anti-Vivisection Society, because of what they do for animal welfare. They're very involved with changing the legislation so that animals are not tested on in situations where well, I don't ever think there's a situation where they should be tested on, but there's so much new modern testing. We don't need to use animals anymore for that. And
No, absolutely.
so they really focus in on where the testing is going on, and you'd be surprised where it is, and we won't go into that. But this is a way for you to support them so they can do their work. It's not easy work. It takes a very strong heart.
What's the name of it?
The National Anti-Vivisection Society,
Okay.
and they're at N like Nancy, A, V like Victor, S.org.uk.
Oh, in the UK.
But they're also in the United States as well. And there's also the American Anti-Vivisection Society too. Most people have never even heard that word before. And it's an important word because we want to go to a place where we're respecting everything and loving everything. We're not leaving anybody out, and we're getting out of this old caste system that animals are at the bottom and with plants. This 2021, let's raise it up. Let's have everybody on the same level for respect and dignity. And yeah.
There is another one I would like to mention, the American Indian Services.org. And American Indian Services.org is primarily for education in those tribes and creating college funding and high school, college, and just helping them raise their quality of living.
Yeah, that's terrific. And coupling with that would be my third, Running Strong for Indian American Youth, which was founded by Billy Mills, who was a Olympic athlete winner, gold medal winner, Native American. I think he's Oglala Lakota, I think. And so the idea of we support them all year round, but there's something at the end of the year with all these kids, they race each other and they win, and they get this sense of, championing themselves and championing each other, and there are prizes involved. And it's just a great thing to lift the spirit in the Native American tribes with young teenage kids. It's really important. And I guess I'd like to put in one more thing about that, because for the Native Americans this year, because it has been an unholy year for them. It's been a really terrible year for Native American tribes, and yet they go on, as they always do, because of their wisdom and their centeredness, their sovereignty within themselves. But they need blankets, food, everything that you can possibly need. Many Native American residences have no running water in a time of COVID-19. No water. You can go to water.com or dig deep. Matt Damon founded a whole wonderful, incredible organization that goes in and sets up water systems for people. Water, can you imagine your life without water? No. When I take a shower now, I stand in the shower and I go, Simone, do you have any idea how blessed you are to stand in the shower? I mean, we forget.
I know we do. And some people don't even know.
Yeah.
No, isn't that they forget. They don't even know.
No. And that's why we're mentioning some of these things, because they need to be heard.
And why are we mentioning these things to you? Because we know that those of you who watch us have a heart. And we know that you literally have a very high consciousness. Whether you have the means right now to donate to any of these organizations, only you know that. But if you do, and even if it's only a few dollars, it's a wonderful Christmas gift, Hanukkah gift, whatever holidays you celebrate.
And just telling others.
Yes.
If you can't afford to, tell others. Let's spread the word. Let's get out there and spread the word. It's really big. I feel good talking about it. I really do.
I do too. I
think it's really important, and we won't tell them what our Christmas gift to each other is besides the donation.
No, we
Okay, it'd be fun, but I won't do it, Dot.
Thank you.
We want to say that it's so nice to be back doing more recordings with you. We were out for a while because our wonderful designer had to go and deal with something she had going on that was pretty amazing. She's an amazing person. You're going to meet her later on because we're going to interview her. She's an incredible teacher of the Enneagram, Suzanne Dion. But we're going to have a special show on New Year's Day, right, Dot?
Yes, we are.
And
we're going to celebrate New Year's.
We are, and it's a 5-year. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to take you on a journey so that you can begin to set your intention for how you want to be and what you want to manifest in 2021. So that's really going to be big fun.
And we're planning on 2021 being far different than 2020.
Oh, yeah. And not at the effect of 2020 any longer.
Exactly.
Releasing those cords.
And we also have some new shows coming up. After that, we'll be interviewing Helene Rothschild, who is a psychotherapist, amongst many other things. Amazing. And Tish, I'm sorry.
Tish Lampert Koblenz is a photojournalist who has a new book out that's really powerful. And she's going to talk about, standing up for what you believe in as a woman and as a human being and caring for the planet. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to do a special one on Suzanne Dion, as we talked about before, who's I've been with me for years and years and years as a student and a friend and my designer. And now she's doing wonderful things for Dorothy and me. She is. Yeah, she's amazing. And she's going to be talking about the Enneagram, which is really fascinating. I can't wait for that one. All of them are great.
You know what number you are on the Enneagram?
I think she said I was a 6, whatever that means. Do you know are you a 9?
I don't know what I am.
Oh.
I think someone once told me I was an 8, but I have no clue what that even means.
An 8 would be the big manifester. It would be the big producer, the one that, hauls in the physical realm. You better ask Suzanne because I don't know that much about it, but I do know that 8 is a very grounded one.
I don't even know how they come to the conclusion that you're an 8 or a 6.
It's all about the personality.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's on a personality level, but Suzanne's done all this work in the prisons and she's a fascinating powerhouse. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then we have all of these other wonder ones we're going to be recording in January. So stay tuned, and we missed you and we love you. And
we do. And didn't you have another quote? Or did you do that?
Well, that quote by Satchidananda.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Satchidananda was an incredible spiritual teacher that passed not too long ago. Probably many of you have heard of him. But I was passing by Twitter today. God knows why. But anyway, I was. And there was this quote, and it said, "There is only God." Satchidananda. And I thought, well, how can we talk about that so people don't get turned off by the word God? Because so many people do. They think we're talking about a male entity in the sky or something. But really, we're not. We're talking about the incredible inclusion of everything into connected to the source, just the oneness of all of us. And there's only that. And
there's only that. And therefore, we must be that.
And we must be love, because that's the prevailing energy always, if you let it in. So 2021, I think, is going to be a year of all of us focusing. It's a 5-year. We'll get more into that, but focusing in on the love.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Yes, and so we'll say Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Yes.
Happy Hanukkah. All of it. All the beautiful ceremonies around the world. We embrace you, and we're so blessed.
Enjoy what you have, whatever it is.
See you soon.
See you soon.